Howdy folks, welcome to another installment of
The builds you don't play.
I apologize beforehand to all the hipsters out there, but this week's build might not necessarily be breaking the obscurity scale. But after doing a wolf barb, a blade assassin and a goddamn crossbow sorceress, let me have this one. I call this build the Phoenix Nova Sorceress. Now what the fuck is that? Let's find out. To put it in simple terms, this is a hybrid sorceress that uses Nova and Fireball. Anyone who has played late game Nova builds knows that they are insanely mana hungry, almost to the point of being unplayable unless you do some weird max energy build or something. Even my level 99 sword with battle orders will empty its mana pool with just a few seconds of Nova spam.
Not enough mana.
That is why we are rolling with the Phoenix Shield. Not only does it offer the fire damage boost to the fireball portion of this build, but more importantly, the redemption aura will constantly keep refilling our mana, so we can sustain ourselves better through all of the crazy Nova spamming that we're doing. This is gonna be the first magic finding oriented build I'm gonna cover on my channel, and it's currently by far my most played pit running character. I'm not saying it's the most effective pit farmer ever, but it's just so much fucking fun to play. There's something charming to me about switching back and forth between Fireball and Nova, trying to figure out which one to go for based on each situation, repositioning to make sure your Nova will be hitting with maximum effectiveness. The skill ceiling with this character is definitely high, and playing it just feels very intense and action-packed. It's absolutely lovely. I enjoy this build so much that I ended up capturing way more footage for this video than I actually needed, just because I couldn't bring myself to stop playing. One of the core items of this build is of course the Phoenix Shield that I mentioned before. Phoenix is pretty much vital to make this build functional. Losing the resistances, the cast rate and the hit recovery boosts from the Spirit Shield, however, means that we do have to be slightly more mindful about those mods when we are choosing the rest of our gear. Another core item I would say is the Griffins. It just basically has the perfect stats for this character. I went with 3-piece towels for magic finding purposes. You usually see this combination of items on a Blizzard Sorceress, but it gets work done here just as well. You are potentially losing out on up to +3 skills using these items, so feel free to experiment with other item combinations in these slots. Boots are War Travelers, again for magic find. Rings are Stone of Jordans. Gloves are Mage Fists for the fire damage boost. For the weapon, I went with Isted Exodus. If you don't know, the damage bonuses from Exodus get added on top of Lightning Mastery and Fire Mastery, so the damage boost it gives you will be rather small in the end. Feel free to swap this to Hodo or something if you feel like you need some more resistances. Another decent option actually is just the Spirit Sword to help with the lack of FHR in your shield slot, but you will need another source of faster cast rate with that one. Oh, and Oculus can go suck a dick. The teleport proc on that thing makes it absolutely unusable. With these item choices, we have just enough faster cast rate to hit the 105 breakpoint. We have CTA and Spirit on swap. Inventory is a bunch of magic find small charms. Most of them are plain, some have some resistances on them. I got these 3 charms with some FHR here. Together with the Shale rune I got in the Tao's armor, I hit the 42 FHR breakpoint exactly. 60 would be better, and I suppose I could get there if I Shale the Griffins or something, but 42 has been working out just fine for me. Mercenary has Fortitude, Shaled Vamp Gaze and Infinity. The merc gear outside of the Infinity ain't actually too important, so feel free to innovate all you like. I ran this character a long time with the Might Mercenary. Then I eventually got tired of dying to archers all the time and I figured I'd want some extra safety, so I went with the Holy Freeze instead. Some Magic Find enthusiasts don't like the Holy Freeze because it'll color everything blue and thus make it more difficult to tell the bosses apart from the regular monsters. The way I'm playing this character, however, I basically kill everything anyway, so it's not a big deal for me. Like, if I see a spot with good monster density, I'm gonna blow it up, boss group or no. The skill build is 1 point into static, telekinesis and teleport, then max Nova and max lightning mastery. In the cold tree I grabbed frozen armor, frost Nova and 1 point into cold mastery. In the fire tree I maxed fire mastery, fireball and fire bolt as a synergy. I had some skill points left over after this, so I put a couple of points in the warmth and I even grabbed enchant to buff my mercenary with. While we are watching some gameplay in the form of a couple of pit runs, I wanted to take a little moment to talk about my channel. I've noticed a steady trickle of new subscribers since I started this video series, and I want to thank everyone who has subscribed so far. A subscription shows me that there's an audience for this kind of content, and I'm gonna take all the recent subs as a sign that I'm doing at least something right over here. I still have plenty of builds lined up for this series, and I'll try to keep doing one build video per week with some occasional extra stuff trickled here and there, whenever I have the time for it. I'll be taking off next week, however. I need to focus on some other things. So no build video next week, I'm sorry. We'll get right back to it the week after that. An actual gameplay related note, you can see that I tend to flash the monster groups with a quick Frost Nova before I move on to the actual damage spells. It is to slow down the enemy attack speed and most importantly to slow down the archers and the Devilkin as they are running away. I mentioned earlier that I used to run this character with a Might Mercenary. I don't think the Frost Nova is absolutely necessary when running with the Holy Freeze Merc, but I played such a long time without it that the Frost Nova is like hardwired into me at this point. I would probably have to spend a few days unlearning it. A quick note on the players count that I'm running on. I tend to stick to players 5, which may seem a little strange. Players 3 would be a little smoother and safer, but on players 3 I was actually running into a curious problem. I was noticing that once I got more comfortable with my map, the fights were ending so fast that the redemption aura from the Phoenix didn't actually have time to kick in before I was already done with the fight and ready to teleport onwards. If you are going with different kind of gear setup on this build, try to figure out a players count where your kill speed is still reasonably fast and your Nova is still putting the monsters into hit recovery. That's the best advice I can give you on the matter. That about does it for this time. Thanks for watching and I'll see you later.